formally. I'm the percussion instructor here at Alvin Community College, and I want to welcome all of y'all to the second annual percussion concert. The two pieces you just heard, the first one was all for claves, and the second one was written by Anthony Cerrone, I think in the late 60s, early 70s. I didn't want to come out and speak before those and give any kind of idea what was going on, so I think it lends itself to a better performance. What you're going to see later this evening, there's lots of pieces that are a little different for a percussion ensemble because we are not as large as what a lot of music is written for. The next piece that's going to happen is a duet that is played on what's called rototoms, which are drums that have no shell and only one head on them. They have a unique sound. And later on this evening, I'll be talking about some of the other players in the percussion ensemble, and they'll be setting up and changing gear in between. So if it seems like all of a sudden people are just running around, that's completely normal. And later on, at the end of the concert, the last piece we're going to play involves almost everybody, and it's much louder in tune and much more rhythmic. So I think they're set up for the next piece, and here is Josh DeLeon and Joe Garza. The next two pieces are written by one of the performers you just saw, Josh DeLeon. I want to say a few things about Josh. He came here, I guess, going on 2 years now, and he's one of the most hardest working students I've ever had. The next two pieces he wrote himself, and this is the first time they will be performed in public since he wrote them, and they haven't been written but just a few months old, they're not even years old. So the summary for the pieces are in the program, and I won't rehash that, but let me talk a little bit about Josh and what he's done. Josh is my first student I've ever had that made All-State both years he tried out. last fall and the fall before that. And what happens is the TCC VDA picks students to form a concert band and a jazz band from all the community colleges in the state. The first semester Josh was here, he tried out and he made first chair for the concert band. Last year he made fourth chair, and they only picked 8 percussionists out of all the community colleges in the state of Texas. So I couldn't be more proud of what Josh has done. Anything I get him to do, he plays, he writes, he performs, he plays this ensemble. And even though I'm the instructor here, a lot of what you see on the stage, these guys show up 2-3 days a week and they run this stuff without my help, without David Griffith's help. And Josh has been one of the ones that's organized and kept everybody in line. Hey, you play this, you play that, let's do this, let's not do that. Basically taking charge. And I can't say enough good things about him and what he's done and his abilities. So give a hand to Josh. And since I don't hear any noise, I think they're set up. So here is Poltergeist. that piece is not just percussion. We included some guitars and piano, because they're nice too. So this next piece is Delightful Carnival. Josh wrote it as well. It's different than the last one. And I've mentioned him, but I want to mention a couple other players that are on stage. Joe and Anthony. Anthony first. He's been here 4 semesters also, and I'm really impressed by the progress that he's made. When Anthony came out here, he was not as fluid with playing all the percussion instruments that he is tonight. He didn't really know how to read melody real well, didn't know what a lot of these things did, and he's really worked hard and played in not only the ensembles, but in the lessons with me, and the things that he's done on the recitals is really remarkable, and I'm very proud of his accomplishments. So give a hand to Anthony. Joe was playing vibes on this piece. He came out last semester in the fall, and he plays snare drum for the University of Houston, plans to attend the University of Houston. Also a really hard worker, great player. All these guys are really great players. I can't say anything bad about them. They practice, they do what they're supposed to do, and I look forward to more semesters with Joe, so let's give Joe a hand. So that was fast. They changed gear better than I thought they would. So here's Delightful Carnival. So you see what I mean? He wrote every bit of that, scored it out, wrote all the parts, everything. The next piece is a duet, and I'll talk about the participants on this a little bit later after they're done, especially I want to talk about Mo for a little bit, but I want them to set up and let him go ahead and play. The piece that they're going to do is for marimba, and they're both going to play on one marimba. So I think they're good to go. Without further ado, Anthony and Mo. Okay, I want to talk about Mo for a second. This guy, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Okay, he's a guitar player, first of all. This is a percussion ensemble concept, right? So he took my class, I don't know how many semesters ago, and first I asked him, what do you want to learn? Well, I play guitar. I said, then what are you doing here? So he wanted to know what the terminology was called so he could talk to his drummer and talk to his drummer on the same level and make him understand what's going on. So he took a private lesson, a flat percussion class, just to understand. The rest of these guys up here, I expect them to do this. I expect them to play the marimba, I expect them to play snare drum, I expect them to do all the things a percussionist does. Mo shows up and he puts up with the abuse from the rest of the drummers because his technique isn't right. He doesn't exactly do it the way you're supposed to do it. But he shows up and plays, and he plays all of it. He plays the marimba, he plays drums, he plays accessories, which is what we call triangle, and he played wind chime on that one tune. Everything, and he's not even a drummer. So for somebody to actually show up and put on the percussionist hat, and he's not that, big props to Mo for doing that. I for sure am not strapping on a guitar and going to guitar class or something like that. Something like I know what I'm doing. That's not. So the next piece they're going to play is for percussion quintet. There's no piano or bass in this one. I hear very little noise back there, so I think they're ready to go. And without further ado, look who showed up. next piece will feature one of our own faculty, David Griffith, playing trombone, and also features Josh playing marimba. And when Josh told me he wanted to do this on the concert, I asked him, well, how long is this piece? And he said, well, I don't know. And he started unfolding this and just kept going and just kept going. And so at first he didn't know whether he wanted to do it just because of the length of it, or do I have time to do this? And I said, no, I think you should do it. And he chose to ultimately play it with David. And so almost in every lesson, some part of the lesson was either discussing the song or going over parts of this song or him playing through the song one more time because he really wanted to get it down, and that's the kind of perfectionist he is. But this piece showcases a little bit of his ability playing four-mouth marimba, and that's really where he shines. So without further ado, here's David Griffith and Josh DeLeon with Pair Up. For our last piece, I want to say a few things about percussion ensemble. If you're a student and you want to do this, it's an actual class. It's in the catalog, I believe, as concert band, but the guys meet during the concert band time and they work on basically anything that we can come up with. This is our second concert like this, so it's relatively new for the music department, and it really only exists when I have bodies. If I don't have people signing up to do this, that will, like Mo, they'll go through the abuse of somebody yelling at them, hey, play this, don't play that, what are we going to play? Then it doesn't happen. So if you're interested at all, or know somebody that would be interested, sign up for the class, come see me, come see David Griffith, come find Kevin Moody, and they'll steer you in the right direction. Also, the last piece of the night is what I would consider more of a percussion ensemble piece. It's what drummers like to do. It's loud, it's fast, it's beating on drums. So it's one of the things that the guys latched onto early in the semester, and they're like, we want to do this, and I know why, because I would want to play on it. But I want to thank all of y'all for coming. I really appreciate everyone showing up. I appreciate all the parents and girlfriends and boyfriends and aunts and uncles and whoever else is out there for supporting this, because if my parents didn't put up with me playing drums, I wouldn't be where I am. So thanks to y'all. Give yourselves a round of hand. And without further ado, the last piece of the night, Moss Square Day. playing the giant floor toms, who I want his part on this song. That's ridiculously cool. He's a percussion major. Ethan is the other one. Ethan, wave to the crowd. So all these guys are percussion majors up here, and I couldn't be more proud of the work they've done. So another round of applause.